Minutes after Elon Musk tweeted that he's looking forward to meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi in India, social media went abuzz with curiosity and anticipation. The Tesla owner, remember, has been vocal about his interest in investing in India, particularly in the domain of electric vehicles. Musk has in fact said it is a natural progression to provide Tesla electric vehicles in India. Earlier in June 2023, Elon had met with Prime Minister Modi during the PM's US visit, after which he had stated that he planned to visit India in 2024, while also expressing confidence that Tesla would enter the Indian market soon. Listen into what he had said.
I'm actually incredibly excited about the future of India. I think India has more promise than any large country in the world. He really cares about India because he's pushing us to make significant investments in India, which it is something that we intend to do. And we're just trying to figure out the right timing. It was a fantastic meeting with the Prime Minister, and I like him quite a lot. He visited our Fremont factory several years ago, and so we've now known each other for a while.
Now remember, EVs isn't the only sector where the Elon Musk-India partnership can see investments. India has also opened up its space sector to private players, and SpaceX could be a significant entry into it. In fact, Musk's satellite internet venture, Starlink, might also be on the brink of launching in India, marking a pivotal role in bridging the digital divide and taking forward the Digital India vision of the government. So a lot that's already being talked about and much more that's expected in this upcoming meeting. To talk more on this, on the broadcast, I'm joined by Lloyd Mathias. He's a business strategist and investor. I'm also joined by Tutu Dhawan. He's an automotive expert. Good evening to both of you. Lloyd, let me start with you first. An exciting meeting, lots of buzz ahead of this meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Elon Musk. What are you expecting? Tesla is something, and EVs is something that is being talked about a lot, but I'm sure the Elon Musk and India partnership holds much more than that.
Thank you, Shreya. Absolutely. I think there are two big factors at play. I think one is clearly the EV market in India is growing, albeit gradually. But I think if Tesla makes an entry, that could spur growth. I think more critically, I think this is a sharp response to India's offer effectively to Tesla that suggests that if they start manufacturing in India, or if they start putting up a manufacturing facility, I think India 15th of March declared that there would be a 15% import duty on imported electric cars above a $35,000 valuation. Now that really spurs and opens up the market for Tesla in a manner of speaking. And also, I think the other big factor at play, which I expect to be announced when Musk meets the Prime Minister later this month, is the fact that they would love to put up a manufacturing facility, not just for what it offers in terms of the Indian market, but also to use it as a hub for Tesla's global exports. I just want to state one thing initially. I think that right now, in the last year, Tesla has faced a lot of headwinds. In fact, the last 2 years, their profitability has come down. This year, their stock price has kind of tanked 30%. So effectively, they've fallen out of the big five or the big seven as it once was. And therefore, with Chinese homegrown EVs growing, I think Tesla and Musk is looking for the next big growth opportunity. And in that sense, India provides him.
Yeah, which was what my next question was. Tutu Dhawan, as much as we would want to welcome this EV investment into India by Tesla, there's also, of course, talk about the fact that because Tesla's market in US and China is stagnating, the demand has reduced there, and an increasing competition from Chinese automakers is why there's a lot of more interest by Elon Musk into India.
Well, first of all, I think we all should welcome Elon Musk coming to India, primarily not only to be making electric vehicles, but I think it's a big business venture and investment that is going to come to India. So I particularly don't see a great future as far as the electric vehicle is concerned in India. But nevertheless, as the world is already going towards buying lesser EVs, the reason now Elon Musk is looking for newer markets is only to try and excite the new buyers. And in any case, let me tell you, Elon Musk's Teslas are not cheap. And we Indians are very price conscious when we want to buy something. And of course, after that, we want the residual value. That means even kabad ka paisa bhi humko pura chahiye. So from that point of view, I think we need to see how this new venture is going to come up. But all said and done, I think he has already announced that Germany is going to be one of their manufacturing units, and probably they would probably be supplying
Yes.
complete built-up unit CBUs to India.
Yeah, Lloyd, interesting point made by Tutu Dhawan there. The fact that these are cars which are basically luxury cars, and they will cater to a certain kind of buyers in India as well. But of course, on the sidelines, we will see employment opportunities. We will see the kind of Make in India initiative that the government has been pushing for. All of that also comes along with it, even if there is a niche buyer segment in India for Elon Musk.
Absolutely, Shreya. I think what we're talking about, and what the buzz is, that they're looking at possibly their lowest price model. So that would typically come at about the 20 to 25 lakh range in India, which, as Mr. Dhawan rightly pointed out, is still very expensive. Right? It'll still be therefore a niche market. And given that EVs per se are a small market, that is going to be small. Having said which, Tesla today operates two plants, one in Berlin in Germany, one in Shanghai. And the Chinese market is really going to be very competitive for them, given homegrown EV makers. So they would look at India not just as a market to satisfy rather small Indian demand, but also as a hub to export to other markets. So I think that will be a big manufacturing fillip in the context of what we hope to do. The second point that I think is important and has to be seen is Musk is also an icon in his own way and is doing what he can to boost up the market capitalization of Tesla. Now, coming to India, making an announcement, the optics around it, meeting Mr. Modi, I think on the 22nd of April is what one hears, I think is going to be a big fillip for news for Tesla that could even kind of drive its stock price. And here's the last available big market in the world, albeit not so big for EVs, but that could open up. So the optics of that can be phenomenal. I would say that on the 22nd of April, when Musk and Mr. Modi meet, that's going to be a big trend on Twitter. I mean, they're both superstars in their own way. So I think it's signaling the right things. One, in the context of the fact that choosing India as a key market, setting up manufacturing. Two is the fact that there is still a lot of growth expected in the EV space. And third, what it means to both Elon Musk as a global icon and technology as youth icon, and for the Prime Minister, given that this is going to happen as a run-up to the election. So the optics of that are just going to be phenomenal. And therefore, it's going to be more than just a business call. That announcement is going to make waves right across the spectrum.
Yeah. Before I talk about SpaceX and Starlink, Lloyd, let me also understand from Mr. Dhawan. Mr. Dhawan, you made this point where you said that EVs are now being bought less by people. Why do you say that? Because governments across the world have been pushing for electric vehicles as a sustainable, eco-friendly solution.
Okay, now let me go a little back in the history of automobiles. Almost a century back, EVs were being produced in India, in the world, and finally it was found that they are not viable. The entire concept of charging and recharging and replacing batteries was not possible. But nevertheless, today the technology has changed, much refined, and of course with computerization and all those things, today we can get extra mileage. Probably certain companies are even claiming that to get 1,000 kilometers to a one charge. But the point is, these sort of vehicles are all high-end vehicles. They are all luxury vehicles. They are costing anything a crore plus. So what are the EVs looking for? Are you looking for just a small little piece of the cake, or are you looking at larger avenues in the marketing sector. Because today, anything which sells well and the Indian car manufacturers are making money on is anything between 5 lakhs to 20 lakhs. Anything more than that has got a limitation. You will see in all car manufacturers, any car which is costing between 30 and lakhs and above, they have got very small sales figures. Plus, on top of that, EVs, the public has started realizing what the EVs would be after maybe 5 years or a decade. Once the batteries start packing up and you need to repack, get a new battery into it. The cost of the new battery that time will be almost 50% or 40% of the cost of a new car. So would you be willing to spend that sort of money on a car which has got a residual value of maybe 4-5 lakhs and you want to spend 8 lakhs on that? So there are a lot of arguments on this now. And moreover, I think it is now being proved that electric vehicles are not environment friendly for the future of the world.
Okay. Besides this, Lloyd, of course, there are also speculations that there could be something related to SpaceX or Starlink, some announcement there as well. And of course, we know that in India, the space sector now has been open to private players. And SpaceX could be a significant entry there, considering the fact that India is looking to sort of expand its, global launch market also. Do you expect any of that happening this time around, or is it too early for that?
I'm sorry.
Well, as I said earlier, it's a great thing that Elon Musk is coming to India.
Mr. Dhawan, this was
and
for Lloyd.
It is not going to be only automobiles that we are looking for.
Yeah, just to add to, I think what Mr. Dhawan said, I believe, though, that this visit in April would be timed largely on a big announcement around Tesla. And the reason I say so is two parts. One, I think, is that establishing manufacturing is one of the big calling cards that this government has called out. And we've seen a fair amount of developments. One is all hearing about the amount of iPhones that are actually now being assembled and actually manufactured in India. The number is shooting up quite dramatically. So I would think that this visit would largely be around the EVs. Also, given that India, as recently as a month ago, announced a change in the policy, allowing for much lower import duty for EVs as long as a company makes sizable investments. However, there would be some kind of buzz around Elon Musk's other ventures. So clearly, SpaceX, and given that India has opened up the space sector, I think that will be one talking point. But I think the bigger story here, to my mind, Shreya, is the fact that this is timed perfectly. It works on both counts. Tesla needs good news to sway markets. Tesla needs something to kind of boost its kind of market capitalization, which has been sluggish. And I think also in the Indian context of the Prime Minister, it works perfectly. Manufacturing is a big calling card. Here's Musk, who's not just a technology icon. I think he sways a lot of young people. I mean, he's one of the global superstars. Just a fortnight back, the Prime Minister had a chat with Bill Gates. I think these send very positive signals across the board to the industry, right? So I think on the combination of both, I think this is going to be a very EV-specific announcement. But having two global icons, Mr. Modi and Mr. Musk, together in India, making an announcement, I think is going to have its own undercurrent and obviously going to create a lot of positivity.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Of course, whatever the announcements be during this meeting, I think we all can agree that it's going to be a win-win situation for both the Indian government as well as Elon Musk. Let's wait and watch how this meeting pans out and what announcements are made. Lloyd Mathias and Tutu Dhawan, thank you very much, both of you gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your thoughts. Thank you very much. Namaskar.